Tom Hanks is here. Come on, do it. Come on, do it.
Okay, one time. Wilson!
Spare no expense. Rick Sanchez finally quit goofing around and fixed his portal gun thanks to the meddling of a bunch of Earth-invading altruistic dinosaurs who also solved one of Rick's biggest problems while they were at it. Directed by Kyung-hee Lim, Juricksic Mort makes the argument that selflessness and selfishness are just two sides of the same coin. Once again, peeling back a layer of what truly makes Rick tick, but honestly, who cares? The portal gun is fixed, and we're gonna tell you why Rick has finally fixed it, plus a major update on the central finite curve, and all the Easter eggs we could find. To that, I have to warn you, spoilers, we're doing them. You don't want them? Then you just go through a portal maze until you throw up while we discuss this.
Classic episodes, Morty. Portaling in, wrecking shit, portaling out, Morty. Oh my god, adventures, Morty, social commentary.
Okay, now that we're past the spoiler warning, let's get right to it. Portal travel is fixed. Despite complaining about his process the whole episode, Rick finally stops procrastinating and fixes the portal gun, which means crazy reality hopping hijinks are back, baby! This happened because Rick won a game of Virtue Chicken with a bunch of highly advanced dinosaurs who invaded Earth only to help out in ways that made humanity irrelevant. No, I mean more irrelevant. Stop slowing me down, jeez. Jerry writes a best-selling book after the dinosaurs totally rewrite civilization for us, but of course he gets zero credit for it, and in the end, Rick finally fixes the portal gun after the dinosaurs also closed the rift in reality caused by evil Morty in the season 5 finale. Okay, I know that's a lot to lay on you all at once, so let's recap a little to show how we got there. Rick is enjoying some cold ones while watching Interdimensional Cable, and Morty needs a ride to school. Rick offers Morty the use of a semi-repaired portal gun, which opens up to the big Cthulhu monster we always see in the opening credits. Point is, Rick actually has to drive Morty to school, which he does.
Have a process, Morty.
Huh?
I'm fixing my portal gun, and every time you bring it up, it blocks my creative flow. And then I'm forced to take longer on purpose just to train you not to bring it up.
Geez, do you know what projection is?
Do you?
No, I heard Mom use it.
While Morty is at school learning that everyone there is afraid of him now because of all the high-concept sci-fi adventures he's always on, and guess what? It's time for a high-concept sci-fi adventure because a bunch of ships invade Earth. Who's on these ships? Dinosaurs, obviously.
Dinosaurs are back.
Monkeys went bald?
They're sentient, they're highly advanced, and they're like, hey, we're back. What did you do to the planet and also all of our species?
They died a long time ago, way before us. We didn't see nothing.
The humans explain that the dinos were dead before we got here, and they're actually pretty cool about it. The dinos are super chill about everything, actually, and are like, hey, why don't you guys just relax for a while? We can take over. So humanity just goes on maximum chill mode. There's no need to work anymore. Everyone just stays home and hangs out, kind of like the early days of the pandemic, but you know, without the whole deadly pathogen part. Anyway, I digress. Jerry uses this time to publish a novel called Never Trying Never Fails, which actually gets pretty popular on Earth, where everyone has stopped giving a shit. It turns out that the space dinos go all over the galaxy, completely violating the Prime Directive all over the place, and Rick figures out that wherever the dinos go, they do make major improvements, but they are always targeted by a race of barely sentient, angry asteroid creatures who show up and pretty much destroy all life on whatever planet they wind up on.
And all of our work? It was for
Nothing. Bingo. Welcome to life. It's a big boat with a lot of holes, but we're all in it together.
Oh my.
Realizing this, the space dinos voluntarily go to Mars to await an angry asteroid creature and the annihilation it brings with it, and Rick also goes too, just to wait for the asteroid to hit. The dinos won't destroy the asteroid because it's technically a living thing, and Rick won't do it because he has a point to prove, and he's always kind of a dick about this kind of thing.
We're doing something selfless. You're doing it out of pettiness.
How is anyone supposed to know the difference? Consider it a game of virtue chicken.
Rick wins the game of chicken as one of the space dinos destroys the approaching asteroid before it can do any damage. The space dinos are irritated, and right before they leave, they respond by closing the rift Evil Morty ripped in reality at the end of season 5 before he fucked off completely by escaping the central finite curve. This enrages Rick because he was gonna get to it eventually, just like the portal gun, and more importantly than that, the whole central finite curve thing was a huge canon story point.
It was all canonical and shit. We could have milked that thing for a whole season. Or like a 3-episode arc at least.
And this is why Rick fixed his portal gun. When Morty escaped the central finite curve, we learned that Rick had sequestered a corner of existence where he was always the smartest being in the universe, and now Evil Morty is somewhere outside of this, and when the rift was still open, reality was exposed to dimensions where Rick isn't top dog. But the rift is closed now thanks to the space dinos. Doesn't mean that those other realities don't exist anymore, it just means that, just like before, they're pretty inaccessible and might as well not exist until someone creates another rift that does the same thing. For Rick, fixing the portal gun was totally self-serving. He's the top life form in existence once again, and every version of himself will be too. Of course he's gonna wanna jump around and do some rebuilding now that everything is back to normal.
If these aliens want Earth, they'll have to go through Egypt, and they can ask mummies how that goes.
Okie doke, it's time for the Easter eggs. Why am I explaining this? You know what these are and how they work. Here we go. First off, the title of the episode is Juricksic Mort, obviously a play on Jurassic Park, and if you're like me, you were like, hey, didn't Rick and Morty already do a Jurassic Park thing? And the answer is yes. In episode 3 of season 1, Anatomy Park used the premise of shrinking people and sending them to a Jurassic Park-style theme park inside the body of a sick, unhoused man. Important to note, they were riffing more on the theme park part of Jurassic Park, while this one is more of a dinosaur thing.
That is one big pile of shit.
Yes, exactly. More Jurassic Park references coming up, but first, the cold open shows Rick watching TV, changing the channel away from an Eyeholes commercial, the cereal repped by Eyehole Man, we first saw in Interdimensional Cable 2. We mentioned this earlier, but the Cthulhu monster from the opening credits shows up when Rick shows Morty the semi-repaired portal gun. Jerry has a video file on his computer called Beekeeper's Delight. You may remember season 4, episode 7, when Jerry was seen keeping bees, which Summer's friend Trisha found hot. Did that happen? When the space dinos pretty much take over Earth, they encourage humanity to just focus on making Marvel movies, since we really like doing that. Disagree?
How many Marvel movies have you made?
29 and 14 more on the way.
See, you love doing that.
Okay, maybe it's a fair point. The president also references Avengers Endgame immediately after this.
If you've seen Endgame, you know invasion is not something Earth takes lying down.
Some of the milestones that the dinosaurs list about Earth include, in order, gunpowder, anime body pillows, celebrity presidents, jazzercise, gluteal implants, Marvel movies, space tourism, Dogecoin, social media, comment sections, Crocs, Amazon Prime, fluffernutter sandwiches, and capitalism. Yep, they've got our number. Let's just finish rounding out that Ant-Man guy and, try to be less bad. Rick Westworld's the president with Bo, the barbecue restaurant owner. Did he ever exist as a human man? Who knows? More Jurassic Park references! Morty breaks out the clever girl line from Jurassic Park 1.
Clever girl.
And Rick makes a joke about going elbow deep in Triceratops droppings. At one point, the Roncon Coleman says they are making a series of increasingly terrible movies about cloning dinosaurs in a theme park. I don't know what that could be about. The space dinos already have their own teleportation methods, similar to that of Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen, something Rick complains about.
Why wasn't that painful? It didn't even do it right. My fly is down.
Your fly was already down.
Rick now has one of those cool hydraulic presses in his lab, the ones from TikTok, where they use it to smash things. The dinosaurs might be right about us. Rick hosts the 95th Academy Awards, which will take place in March 2023 and will be attended by several celebrities, including Tom Hanks and Dwayne Johnson probably. Rick Sanchez is currently not scheduled to host, but give it time.
Rick, that's the hardest thing in skateboarding!
It looks so easy on Pro Skater 3!
When Rick and Morty are investigating the other planets the space dinos have been to, Rick references Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. And when we find out where the space dinos went, it was basically to go skateboard on another planet somewhere.
It's a common misconception that they roamed our planet. The truth is they rolled, street style mostly, some vert.
Let me guess, there's a very large, deep circular indentation in which these grindosaurs used to shred.
But what did you think of this episode of Rick and Morty? Why did Rick finally fix the portal gun? And does that mean everything is just back to normal now? Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm Kim Horcher. Thanks for watching this episode of Canon Fodder, and for more Rick and Morty, here's why you won't see Rick the same after season 6, and don't forget to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.
They're gonna call us Laura Dern because we're about to get elbow deep in dino doo-doo. Get it, Morty? The gloves? You remember the big gloves?
I get it, Rick. I said clever girl earlier. You didn't even react.
I was angry.
So you like IGN, huh? The news, the videos, the guides, and wikis, it's all in your wheelhouse. But do you ever wish there was more? Introducing IGN Plus, a brand new program that's loaded with tons of cool perks and benefits. Sign up for IGN Plus today and you'll unlock free games and in-game content every month, a free subscription to Map Genie Plus, huge discounts for stuff like Dream Gear, Power A, Humble Bundle, the IGN Store, and tons more. IGN Plus is just $29.99 a year for a limited time. You deserve a little extra.